two wealthy brothers walk into their living room, raise shotguns, and proceed to fire more than a dozen times at their parents. Then they go out and buy Rolexes. But months later, they get arrested and claim that it wasn't for money, but something much darker.
Trigger warning. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Hey, welcome back to Katie Knows Crime. Today, we are going to be going over the case of the Menendez brothers. Lyle Menendez was born in 1968, and Erik Menendez was born in 1970. They grew up in a very wealthy family in Beverly Hills. Their father, Jose Menendez, was a successful entertainment executive. He worked for RCA Records and later became a Hollywood producer. Their mother, Kitty Menendez, was a former beauty queen who stayed home with the boys. From the outside, their family looked perfect. Big house, luxury lifestyle, private schools, but behind closed doors, things were different. The brothers had later claimed that their father was extremely controlling, Jose pushing them to exceed in sports, school, and business. They said that failure wasn't tolerated. Erik later testified that his father had even sexually abused him, starting at the age of 6. Lyle claimed that he was abused as well. They also described their mother as emotionally unstable, as well as depressed and dependent on pills and alcohol. These claims would later become their central defense. In 1988, Lyle was attending Princeton, but was suspended due to plagiarism. Erik was also struggling in school, dealing with anxiety. The brothers had later claimed that the abuse had gotten particularly bad during this time. They even claimed that they feared their parents might kill them if the secret ever got out. But prosecutors argued that this was not true. They believed that the brothers were angry over money and control. August 20th, 1988, Jose and Kitty Menendez were sitting on their couch in the living room watching TV. Lyle and Erik had entered the room with shotguns. They fired repeatedly. Jose was shot multiple times, including in the back of the head. Kitty had attempted to crawl away, but she was shot multiple times at a close range. This attack was extremely violent. After it was over, the Menendez brothers left their house. The brothers then came back and called 911, pretending to have just discovered their bodies. Police had initially suspected that this was an organized crime and business enemies. The brothers appeared devastated, playing the perfect role, but their behavior had soon raised suspicion. In the weeks after the murders, they bought Rolexes, luxury cars, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on vacations, and even bought a restaurant. Prosecutors said that this had proved the motive. Months later, Erik had confessed to his therapist, and with all their sessions being recorded, the police eventually got their hand on these tapes. This became the key evidence. The brothers were arrested in 1990, and the trial became one of the biggest in America. The defense argued years of sexual abuse, fear for their lives, and self-defense, while the prosecutors argued greed, premeditation, and inheritance motive. The jury heard emotional testimony from both brothers. They described the abuse in detail. This is where the nation became divided. In 1993, the first trial had separated juries, one for each brother. Both juries, however, deadlocked and had no verdict. 2 years later, in 1995, the second trial was held, again with separate juries, one for each brother. The judge had limited abuse testimony, so prosecution focused on the money motive. This time, the jury found both brothers guilty. 1 year later, they were both sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Today, this case still remains controversial. Some people believe that they were abused and acted in fear, while others believed they planned the murder for money. The brothers still remain in prison today. and they were later reunited in the same prison after years apart. Let me know what you think about the case of the Menendez brothers. Were they acting in fear, or was it just about the money? R.I.P. Jose and Kitty Menendez. I will see you in my next video.